The Serengeti, a name that conjures visions of endless horizons and untamed wilderness. Here, the land stretches as far as the eye can see, a tapestry woven from golden grasses, scattered acacia trees, and the ever-changing light of the African sky. As dawn breaks, the first rays of sunlight ignite the plains, revealing a world both ancient and ever-renewing. The air is crisp, carrying the scent of earth and wildflowers, while distant thunderheads promise the life-giving rains that shape this ecosystem. This immense ecosystem covers nearly 30,000 square kilometers, forming one of the world's most iconic landscapes. The grasslands ripple in the wind, a living sea that supports a web of life, both ancient and intricate. Each blade of grass is a testament to resilience, surviving months of drought and bursts of torrential rain, providing sustenance for countless creatures. Each year, the Serengeti becomes the stage for the Great Migration. Millions of wildebeest, zebras and gazelles journeying in search of fresh grazing, their hooves drumming a primal rhythm into the earth. This epic movement is the largest terrestrial migration on the planet, a spectacle of endurance and instinct, as animals navigate rivers teeming with crocodiles and plains stalked by predators. The grass itself is the foundation of this world, nourishing vast herds and, in turn, the predators that follow them. Every blade is a thread in the fabric of survival. The constant grazing shapes the land, preventing bush encroachment and maintaining the open vistas that define the Serengeti. Listen closely. The air vibrates with the hum of insects, the distant calls of hornbills and starlings, and the low, constant murmur of life on the move. Every sound is a signal, a message in the intricate language of the wild, from the warning snorts of antelope to the territorial songs of larks. Sun and rain dictate the rhythm of existence here. Elephants, the largest land mammals, traverse the plains in matriarchal herds, their movements shaping the landscape as they uproot trees and carve new paths. Their deep rumbles travel for kilometers, a form of communication that binds families together across vast distances. The Serengeti is a living mosaic, home to over 70 species of large mammals and more than 500 species of birds, each adapted to a unique niche within this dynamic environment. From the armored hide of the rhinoceros to the nimble leap of the serval, every creature is a product of millennia of evolution. Elephant matriarchs lead their families with wisdom, guiding them to waterholes remembered from seasons past, their memories vital for survival during the dry months. Calves learn by watching their elders, absorbing the knowledge that will one day guide their own herds. As they feed, elephants sculpt the savanna, breaking branches and uprooting saplings, creating open spaces that allow grasses to flourish and new life to emerge. Their impact is profound, shaping the very structure of the ecosystem and influencing which species can thrive. Giraffes, with their towering necks, browse the treetops, delicately plucking leaves from thorny acacias that few others can reach. Their unique physiology allows them to feed where competition is scarce, and their presence helps shape the growth patterns of the savanna's trees. Their movements are slow and deliberate, each step a study in balance and grace, their vantage point offering a unique perspective on the world below. Even their gait is distinctive, a fluid, rocking motion that conserves energy over long distances. Across the plains, every species has evolved remarkable strategies to survive. Some graze in vast herds for safety, others hunt with stealth or speed. The constant interplay of predator and prey drives innovation, shaping behaviors and physical adaptations in a never-ending arms race. The skies are alive with color and song. From the iridescent plumage of bee-eaters to the powerful flight of raptors, birds fill every ecological role, from pollinators to predators. Their migrations link distant continents, making the Serengeti a crossroads for avian travelers. The secretary bird, with its striking crest and long legs, stalks the grasslands on foot, scanning for movement with keen eyes. Its presence is unmistakable, a solitary hunter, moving with purpose through the sea of grass. It hunts by day, using its powerful legs to flush out and dispatch prey, from insects to snakes with astonishing precision. Each strike is calculated, a blend of patience and explosive energy. A single lightning-fast kick can neutralize even the most dangerous adversary, a testament to the bird's specialized hunting technique. Its diet is varied, but its reputation as a snake hunter is legendary across the plains. Beneath the feet of giants, armies of termites and ants toil ceaselessly, recycling nutrients and aerating the soil. Their underground networks are vital, supporting the health of the grasslands above. Their towering mounds, some taller than a person, are marvels of natural engineering, ventilated, temperature-controlled fortresses that sustain entire colonies. These structures influence water flow and provide shelter for a host of other species, from reptiles to birds. Dung beetles, small yet mighty, roll and bury dung, enriching the earth and supporting the growth of new vegetation, their efforts vital to the health of the ecosystem. Their tireless work recycles nutrients, preventing disease and fostering the next generation of plant life. Every day, the Serengeti is alive with interactions, predators and prey, competitors and collaborators, each shaping the fate of the other in a delicate balance. These relationships are dynamic, shifting with the seasons and the fortunes of each species. As dawn breaks, the plains stir with anticipation. Herds begin to move, predators set out on the hunt, and the cycle of life resumes with the rising sun. Each day brings new challenges and opportunities as the drama of survival unfolds beneath the vast African sky. Lions, the apex predators, move with silent intent, while antelope mothers shield their young in the tall grass, every sense alert to danger. Cheetahs rely on speed and stealth, while jackals scavenge and hunt opportunistically, each predator carving out its own niche. Survival here demands ingenuity, camouflage, teamwork, and split-second decisions honed by generations of natural selection. The stakes are high, and every encounter can mean the difference between life and death. Leopards melt into the shadows of trees, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, while wild dogs rely on coordination and stamina to outmaneuver their quarry. Each predator has evolved a unique strategy, contributing to the rich tapestry of life on the plains. As the sun sets, the Serengeti glows with golden light, a reminder of the enduring beauty and complexity of this wild domain. A world where every creature, every moment, is part of a grand and ongoing story. Here, the cycle of life continues unbroken and eternal beneath the watchful gaze of the African sky. As the first rays of sunlight spill across the vast African savanna, the landscape awakens in a golden haze. The air is crisp, filled with the distant calls of birds and the subtle rustle of grass as herds begin to stir. This is a realm where every creature is finely attuned to the rhythms of survival, and each dawn marks the beginning of a new struggle between predator and prey. Concealed within the tall, dew-laden grass, a lioness lies in wait. Her tawny coat blends seamlessly with the sunlit blades, rendering her nearly invisible to the untrained eye. Every sinew in her body is taut, her breathing shallow and controlled, as she observes a nearby family of warthogs. Her gaze is unwavering, each flick of her tail betraying the anticipation building within. Lions, the undisputed apex predators of these plains, are built for short, explosive bursts of speed, reaching up to 80 kilometers per hour in a matter of seconds. Yet their power comes at a cost. They tire quickly, and the open terrain offers little cover. Each hunt is a gamble, with success rates rarely exceeding 1 in 5 attempts. The Savannah is a place where even the strongest must contend with failure. The lioness's senses are razor-sharp. Her ears swivel independently, capturing the faintest rustle or grunt. She is not alone. Her pride moves in silent synchrony, each member aware of her position and role. Generations of experience have refined their tactics, allowing them to communicate through subtle gestures and body language, orchestrating a silent ballet of predation. Patiently, the lioness waits for the perfect opportunity. She knows that a single misstep, a piglet straying from its mother, a momentary lapse in the warthog's vigilance, could tip the balance in her favor. The tension is palpable, every second stretching as she remains perfectly still, her muscles ready to spring into action. The warthog, though often underestimated, is a marvel of adaptation. Its compact, muscular body is covered in coarse hair, and its prominent tusks curve menacingly from its snout. These animals are constantly on alert, their survival dependent on a keen awareness of their surroundings and an ability to react in an instant. With eyes positioned high on their heads, warthogs can scan for danger while grazing, never needing to lower their guard. Their vision sweeps the horizon, detecting the slightest movement in the grass. This adaptation is crucial, allowing them to spot predators before it's too late. Their sense of smell is equally refined. Warthogs constantly test the air, nostrils flaring as they interpret the invisible messages carried by the wind. The faintest trace of a lion's scent can trigger an immediate response, sending the entire family into a state of high alert. Perhaps the warthog's most ingenious adaptation is its reliance on burrows. These deep, winding tunnels, often abandoned by aardvarks, provide a refuge from the relentless threats above ground. The entrances are well hidden, and the tunnels themselves are cool and secure, offering protection from both predators and the harsh midday sun. When danger looms, the warthog executes a swift retreat, backing into its burrow with tusks facing outward. This defensive posture transforms the entrance into a formidable barrier, the sharp ivory points deterring even the most determined lioness from following. Within the cool darkness of the burrow, the warthog is nearly untouchable. Only its eyes and tusks are visible, a silent warning to any predator that dares approach. The burrow is more than a shelter. It is a fortress, a testament to the warthog's ingenuity. When the moment arrives, the Savannah erupts into motion. The lioness explodes from her cover, muscles rippling beneath her coat as she accelerates with astonishing speed. The warthogs, sensing the ambush, scatter in a flurry of dust and alarmed squeals. The lioness's leap is a display of raw power and precision. She covers ground in great bounds, her focus narrowed to a single target. The element of surprise is fleeting, and she must close the distance before her quarry escapes. The warthogs respond with remarkable coordination. Their tails shoot straight up, acting as visual signals for the group to follow. In the chaos, each warthog relies on instinct and memory, weaving through the grass in unpredictable patterns to evade capture. The chase is a contest of agility. The warthog darts left, then right, executing sharp turns that force the lioness to adjust her trajectory. Each maneuver buys precious seconds, increasing the odds of reaching safety. In these critical moments, the warthog's unpredictable movements become its greatest defense. The lioness, despite her speed, struggles to anticipate the next turn, her momentum working against her as she tries to match the warthog's nimbleness. Dust billows around them, obscuring the chase in a swirling haze. The lioness's claws dig into the earth, her breath coming in heavy bursts. The warthog, driven by sheer adrenaline, pushes its body to the limit, every stride a desperate bid for survival. The final stretch is a race against time. The warthog's hooves pound the earth as it makes a beeline for its burrow, the lioness closing in with every bound. The outcome hangs in the balance, determined by mere fractions of a second. Each meter is hard-won. The lioness's jaws snap shut just behind the fleeing warthog, the tension at its peak. The Savannah holds its breath, the drama unfolding in a blur of motion and sound. More often than not, the warthog vanishes into its burrow at the last possible moment. The lioness skids to a halt, nostrils flaring as she circles the entrance, frustration evident in her posture. The warthog, safe for now, peers out from the shadows, its heart still racing. Yet there are times when the lioness's patience and skill are rewarded. A perfectly timed ambush, a miscalculation by the warthog, and the hunt ends in a swift, decisive capture. The lioness's jaws clamp down, and the struggle is over in moments. Within the pride, hunting is a collaborative effort. Lionesses exchange glances, flick their ears, and adjust their positions with silent precision. This intricate communication allows them to encircle their prey, cutting off escape routes and increasing their chances of success. The pride's strategy is a masterpiece of coordination. Some lionesses drive the prey forward, while others lie in ambush, ready to intercept. This teamwork is the cornerstone of their dominance, enabling them to take down even the most elusive quarry. The ongoing rivalry between lions and warthogs is a microcosm of the savanna's delicate balance. Each species is shaped by countless generations of adaptation. Their interactions, a testament to the complexity and resilience of life in Africa's wild heart. In this ever-changing theatre, every encounter is a story of ingenuity, determination, and the relentless drive to survive. In the heart of the Serengeti, a sound reverberates across the endless plains, the relentless thunder of a million hooves. This is the pulse of the wild, a living current that surges with unstoppable force, shaping the destiny of all who dwell here. This is the Great Migration, nature's grandest procession. It is more than a journey. It is the lifeblood of the Savannah, a spectacle that sustains and transforms the land with every passing season. Over 1.5 million wildebeest, accompanied by vast numbers of zebras and gazelles, embark on an epic 800-kilometer trek. Together they form a living tapestry, threading their way through the grasslands in pursuit of survival. Guided by ancient instinct, the herds chase the rains, drawn by the scent of new grass. Each storm brings renewal, coaxing emerald shoots from the earth and beckoning the migration onward. Zebras, with their hardy mouths, lead the procession, stripping away the coarse upper blades and paving the way for the grazers that follow. Wildebeest trail behind, savouring the tender shoots exposed by their striped companions, a seamless partnership where each species carves out its own niche in the ecosystem. The migration becomes a living river flowing across the plains, nourishing the soil and sustaining the intricate web of life that depends on its passage. For the wildebeest, unity is their shield. The dense throng confuses would-be predators, offering protection to the most vulnerable within the herd. In a matter of weeks, thousands of calves are born in synchrony, flooding the plains with new life, a calculated strategy to overwhelm predators and ensure the survival of the next generation. This mass birthing event, known as predator swamping, ensures that while some fall, the majority endure, tipping the balance in favor of the herd. Newborn calves must rise to the challenge within moments of birth. Instinct propels them to their feet, their first steps a race against lurking danger. In just 6 minutes, a newborn wildebeest stands, its legs trembling but determined, ready to join the moving multitude. Within half an hour, the calf is swept along with the herd, its survival tied to the relentless momentum of migration. Only those who keep pace endure, for the herd never pauses, and the slow are left behind. Yet the greatest trial awaits, the Mara River, a formidable boundary between survival and oblivion. The Mara is no ordinary obstacle. It is a living artery, its waters teeming with unseen life, its currents both a source of sustenance and a crucible of danger. Herds gather at the water's edge, tension rippling through every muscle. The air is thick with anticipation, as instinct warns of the perils that lurk beneath the surface. Here, necessity collides with fear. The river beckons with the promise of life, yet threatens with the certainty of death. Beneath the opaque waters, Nile crocodiles lie in silent ambush. Ancient predators, their patience honed by millennia, their senses attuned to the faintest ripple. These reptiles can slow their heartbeat to a crawl, conserving energy for the brief, explosive violence that marks their hunt. For months they wait, knowing the migration will come. The pressure mounts until, at last, a single wildebeest leaps, shattering the tension. In an instant, the herd surges forward, a torrent of bodies plunging into the swirling water. The crossing erupts into chaos. Animals thrash against the current, their bodies colliding in a desperate struggle for the far bank. The river becomes a battleground, its surface alive with the frantic energy of survival. Hooves churn the muddy water, nostrils flare above the waves, each breath a victory against the odds. Suddenly the water explodes, crocodiles launch from the depths, jaws clamping down with bone-crushing force. Their attack is a blur of muscle and teeth, a testament to evolutionary perfection. With jaws capable of exerting immense pressure, crocodiles seize their prey, their teeth interlocking like the gears of a deadly machine. They unleash the death roll, twisting with ferocious speed, tearing flesh from bone in a gruesome ballet beneath the surface. Many will not reach the far shore. Their bodies, claimed by the river, become nourishment for crocodiles, fish and scavengers, fueling a cycle as old as the land itself. For those who survive, the ordeal is transformative. Soaked and trembling, they emerge onto the far bank, the river's grip finally broken. Beyond the river, a reward awaits. Lush, vibrant pastures, their richness born from the very waters that claimed so many. Here, the survivors graze and rest, their journey renewed, as the eternal dance of life and peril continues beneath the African sky. The Serengeti is a living mosaic, each animal and plant a vital thread in a tapestry that stretches to the horizon. At dawn, the plains awaken with the thunder of hooves and the low rumble of distant predators. Herds of wildebeest surge forward, lions prowl through the golden grass, and elephants move with a silent, ancient purpose. This is a world where every sunrise is a promise of renewal, and every life is bound to the fate of the land. Yet beneath this vibrant surface, the Serengeti faces a quiet emergency. Since the 1970s, the abundance that once defined these plains has faded. Herds that once stretched as far as the eye could see are now diminished, their numbers thinned by drought, disease, and the relentless pressure of a changing world. The land itself bears witness: cracked earth, shrinking pools, and the slow retreat of green. The struggle for survival is relentless. Predators and prey are united by a common challenge: the scarcity of water and the unpredictability of the seasons. Elephants dig deep into the parched earth, searching for hidden moisture. Wildebeest, weakened by thirst, press onward in search of the next life-giving stream. Even the mighty lion feels the strain, its roar echoing across a land that grows quieter each year. The ancient highways of migration, once open and endless, are now fractured by obstacles. Fences slice through the grasslands, and rivers that once flowed freely now run dry or flood unpredictably. Herds are forced to take dangerous detours, fragmenting populations and straining the delicate balance that has evolved over countless generations. The Mara River, a lifeline for countless species, is under siege. Upstream, forests fall and dams rise, altering the flow of water and the fate of those who depend on it. As habitats shrink and rainfall patterns shift, the cycles of birth, migration, and renewal are thrown into chaos, threatening the very fabric of the Savannah. While the threat of poaching lingers, it is the slow, relentless advance of climate change that now casts the longest shadow. Droughts arrive without warning, and floods sweep away the fragile gains of the rainy season. Yet even in the harshest times, the land endures. After the rain, new shoots emerge, and the promise of life is renewed. Guardianship in the Savannah is a silent, tireless effort. Across the plains, zebras and antelopes graze, giraffes stretch for the highest leaves, and the hidden eyes of technology watch over them. GPS collars trace the epic journeys of wildebeest and zebra, while camera traps reveal the secret lives of leopards and hyenas beneath the cover of darkness. These tools allow us to understand the rhythms of the savannah as never before. By mapping ancient corridors and monitoring the movements of herds, guardians can restore the pathways that sustain life. Each migration, each crossing, is a testament to the resilience of the wild and the importance of keeping these connections alive. True guardianship is rooted in understanding the savanna as a single, interconnected system. The buffalo's journey at dawn, the cheetah's rest in the shade, the playful splash of young elephants, each is a vital part of a greater whole. The lion's survival depends on the wildebeest on the grass on the rains, and the rains on the health of the land. The Serengeti is a living archive, a place where the story of life is written in every sunrise and every migration. Ostriches race across the open grassland, wildebeest calves find shelter beside their mothers, and the ancient landscape endures, wild and untamed. Guardianship demands patience and vision. It is the wisdom to see the savanna not as a resource to be used, but as a legacy to be protected. Each decision shapes the future, ensuring that the clockwork of the ecosystem continues to turn and that the chorus of life will not fall silent. The boundaries of the wild are under constant pressure. As farmland expands and grasslands shrink, the space for wildlife grows ever more precious. The fate of the Serengeti rests on the choices made today, choices that will echo for generations, shaping the destiny of this irreplaceable sanctuary. If we answer the call of guardianship, the Serengeti's wild heart will endure. Herds will thunder across the plains, predators will prowl beneath the stars, and the spirit of the savanna will remain untamed and eternal, a testament to the power of nature and the promise of protection. As the first rays of sunlight spill across the Serengeti, the savanna stirs with anticipation. The air is crisp, and the golden light reveals a world where survival is a daily art form. Beneath the sheltering arms of acacia trees, warthogs emerge, blending seamlessly with the tawny grasses. Their bristled coats and earth-toned bodies offer natural camouflage, shielding them from the gaze of predators. Each morning, they rise from deep, cool burrows, ingeniously excavated sanctuaries that provide refuge from both the relentless sun and the dangers that prowl after dark. These dens, often inherited from aardvarks, are carefully maintained, with entrances cleared of debris to ensure a swift escape route. The warthog's day begins with a meticulous search for food. Their foraging is not random. They remember the locations of nutrient-rich patches and return to them, maximizing their chances of finding sustenance. With muscular necks and robust shovel-shaped snouts, warthogs dig persistently, unearthing bulbs, tubers, and roots. Their snouts are reinforced with cartilage, allowing them to break through hard, sun-baked soil without injury. Their acute sense of smell is a vital tool, detecting edible plants and underground water sources invisible to other grazers. Sensitive whiskers help them navigate and identify food even in low light or dense grass. The open savanna, though beautiful, is fraught with peril. Warthogs must remain vigilant, as danger can approach from any direction, on foot or from the sky. Every few moments they pause, heads raised, scanning the horizon for the faintest movement. Their eyes, positioned high on their skulls, grant them a wide field of vision, crucial for spotting threats while grazing. Their large, mobile ears swivel independently, capturing subtle sounds, the distant roar of a lion, the soft wing-beat of a raptor, or the rustle of grass betraying a stalking predator. When danger is detected, warthogs react with lightning speed. Their powerful legs propel them in zigzag sprints, making them difficult targets for pursuing predators. They instinctively head for the nearest burrow, often memorizing multiple escape routes across their territory. At the entrance, they pause, assessing the threat before darting inside. This moment of hesitation is calculated, allowing them to gauge whether to fight, flee, or hide. Their burrows are more than shelters. They are defensive strongholds. The tunnels twist and narrow, making it nearly impossible for larger predators to follow. Warthogs reverse into these tunnels, presenting their formidable tusks at the entrance. These sharp, curved weapons are not just for show. They can inflict serious injury on any intruder bold enough to approach. Piglets, guided by instinct and the example of their elders, learn to dash for cover at the slightest alarm. Their survival depends on speed, coordination, and the ability to interpret subtle cues from adults. Water is a precious resource, especially during the dry season. Warthogs plan their journeys to waterholes with precision, often traveling at dawn or dusk to minimize encounters with predators. At the water's edge, they remain on high alert, drinking quickly and keeping a watchful eye on the surrounding bush. The presence of other animals, like wildebeest and zebras, can offer some safety in numbers, but also increases competition and risk. To drink, warthogs kneel on their toughened front legs, a unique adaptation that allows them to reach water in shallow pools. This posture also enables them to spring up quickly if threatened. When water is scarce, they dig into the mud, uncovering hidden moisture and creating wallows. These muddy pools not only quench their thirst, but also help regulate body temperature and protect against biting insects. Warthogs form loose social groups called sounders, typically composed of females and their young. These groups provide mutual protection, as more eyes and ears increase the chances of detecting danger early. While adults remain vigilant, piglets engage in spirited play, chasing, mock fighting, and exploring. These activities hone their reflexes and social skills, preparing them for the challenges ahead. As the sun dips below the horizon, the Savannah is bathed in amber light. Warthogs gather near their burrows, their silhouettes stark against the fading sky. One by one they slip into their underground refuges, leaving behind only faint trails in the dust, a silent testament to their presence and resilience. In the vastness of the Serengeti, each warthog's journey is a testament to adaptability. Solitary wanderers and family groups alike navigate a world where every sense, every instinct is finely tuned for survival. With each sunrise, warthogs greet the day anew, alert, ingenious, and ever resourceful. Their story is one of quiet mastery, etched into the rhythms of the African plains, where survival is both a challenge and an art. As twilight descends, the Serengeti transforms into a realm of shadows and anticipation. The air cools, and the golden light fades, casting long silhouettes across the endless grasslands. In the tall grasses, a pride of lions gathers, silent, focused, unified by an unspoken purpose. Each member is attuned to the subtle cues of the environment, their senses heightened as the world quiets around them. Here, the art of hunting is not a solitary pursuit, but a symphony of teamwork, patience, and adaptation honed over generations. Every lion, from the eldest matriarch to the youngest cub, plays a role in this intricate ballet of survival. The lionesses, slender and powerful, take the lead. Their bodies move with fluid grace, muscles rippling beneath tawny coats as they slip through the grass, barely disturbing a single blade. Each one knows her role, moving with practiced precision. The pride forms a living net, each lioness positioned to maximize their collective advantage, minimizing the chance of detection. The youngest learn by observation, creeping low, mirroring the elders' every calculated step. Their wide eyes absorb every nuance, every pause, every shift in the wind. Their golden coats blend seamlessly with the landscape, rendering them nearly invisible against the fading light. The Savannah becomes their cloak, concealing their approach from even the sharpest eyes. Patience is their greatest weapon. Hours may pass in utter stillness, the only movement a flick of an ear or the slow, deliberate blink of an amber eye. For hours the pride waits, barely breathing, muscles coiled beneath tawny fur. Every heartbeat is measured, every breath controlled, as they anticipate the perfect moment to strike. Their amber eyes fix on a distant herd, zebras grazing, wildebeest meandering, warthogs scurrying for cover. Each potential target is assessed, their movements mapped in the minds of the hunters. Every movement is measured, every sound scrutinized. The lion's acute hearing picks up the faintest rustle, the softest hoofbeat, as they gauge the mood and alertness of their prey. Communication passes in subtle glances and flicks of the tail, a language understood only by the pride. A twitch of a whisker, a silent stare. These are the signals that orchestrate the hunt. When the time comes, the hunters fan out in a wide, silent arc. Each lioness claims her position, forming a living crescent that encircles the unsuspecting herd. They exploit the terrain, using termite mounds for cover, dense scrub to mask their approach. Every rise and hollow in the land becomes a tool, every shadow a shield. One lioness circles wide, becoming the hidden flanker. Her path is chosen with care, her movements ghost-like, as she positions herself for the crucial intercept. Another edges closer, her body pressed low, waiting for the signal. The tension is electric, every muscle primed for the explosive burst to come. Suddenly the charge, a burst of coordinated power. The pride springs from concealment, moving as one, their unity transforming potential into kinetic force. The lead lioness surges forward, driving the herd into confusion. Dust erupts beneath pounding hooves as prey scatter in a desperate bid for safety. Panic ripples through the ranks of prey, but the lions are ready, anticipating every swerve, every desperate leap. Their strategy is fluid, adapting in real time to the chaos of the chase. The flanker intercepts, cutting off escape, while others close in with relentless focus. Adaptation defines their strategy, each lion adjusting position to seal every gap. If a target veers toward open ground, the pride recalibrates, shifting positions with seamless efficiency. Their movements are instinctive yet refined by countless hunts. If the wind changes, carrying their scent, they melt back into the grass, content to wait for another opportunity. Failure is not defeat, but a lesson in patience and resilience. Each hunt is a lesson, each setback a chance to refine their tactics. The cubs watch and learn, absorbing the silent wisdom of the pride. As the dust settles, the pride regroups, success or failure, always together. Their bonds are strengthened by every shared experience, every challenge faced as one. Their unity is their strength, their patience, their edge. Affection is exchanged in gentle nuzzles, reinforcing the ties that make their collaboration possible. In the Serengeti, where survival is never guaranteed, the lion's hunt is a testament to the power of collaboration and the silent brilliance of nature's most formidable predators. Every hunt, every lesson, every moment of unity, these are the secrets behind the pride's enduring legacy. Dawn breaks over the Serengeti, painting the horizon in gold and crimson. Here, time is not counted by clocks, but by the subtle transformation of the land, each season a silent architect, shaping destinies beneath the vast African sky. The Savannah's heartbeat is set by the arrival and retreat of rain. With each shift, the landscape is rewritten, lush and teeming one moment, parched and sparse the next. These cycles command the greatest migration on Earth as millions of hooves answer the call of renewal. As the wet season approaches, the sky darkens with towering thunderheads. The air grows heavy, charged with anticipation. Torrents of rain sweep across the plains, soaking the thirsty earth. Parched soil gives way to a surge of green, as dormant seeds awaken and life bursts forth in every direction. Grasses grow with astonishing speed, their blades reaching skyward, carpeting the savanna in a banquet for grazers. Wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles gather in immense herds, their senses attuned to the scent of fresh growth. Driven by ancient instinct, they embark on a journey that spans hundreds of miles, tracing invisible trails across the rejuvenated land. The ground trembles beneath their passage, hooves drumming a steady rhythm that echoes across the plains. Their movement carves new paths, shaping the very face of the savanna. Predators, ever watchful, adapt their tactics to the shifting abundance. Lions crouch low in the grass, their golden coats blending with the new growth, while cheetahs prowl the edges, poised for explosive pursuit. The great herds draw them onward, and the savanna becomes a stage for countless chases and confrontations, each one a test of skill, patience, and survival. Overhead, the sky fills with wings. Migratory birds arrive from distant continents, their calls weaving a tapestry of sound. They feast on insects and seeds, adding flashes of color to the green expanse. Beneath the grasses, a hidden world awakens. Termites build towering mounds, dung beetles roll their precious cargo, and butterflies flutter among wildflowers. Each tiny life a vital thread in the fabric of renewal. As weeks pass, the rains begin to fade. Clouds thin and drift away, leaving the sky a brilliant, unbroken blue. The grasses lose their emerald hue, turning brittle and gold beneath the relentless sun. The landscape transforms once more, revealing the stark beauty of the dry season. Water becomes scarce, pools shrink and vanish, leaving only muddy hollows where animals gather, their lives now tethered to these precious oases. Elephants, guided by memory and experience, journey across vast distances. Their search for hidden springs is a testament to endurance and the wisdom passed through generations. Along the shrinking rivers, crocodiles lie motionless, waiting for opportunity. Hippos crowd into the last remaining pools, their massive bodies jostling for space in the dwindling water. Every creature must adapt. Antelope grow lean and wary, their senses sharpened by hunger and thirst. Survival demands constant vigilance. Warthogs root through the hardened earth for hidden tubers, while birds scour the ground for the last seeds. Each day is a test of ingenuity and resilience. Some animals embark on long journeys in search of greener pastures. Others seek shade and rest, conserving energy until the rains return. Through every hardship, the Serengeti endures. Its inhabitants display remarkable resilience, each species finding its own way to persist. The landscape is in constant flux. Rivers swell and shrink, grasslands flourish and fade. The savanna is a living canvas, painted anew with every season. From the thunder of migrating herds to the delicate work of insects, every life form contributes to this intricate web. Each adaptation, each struggle, is a testament to the power of change. As the first light of a new season touches the plains, the cycle begins again. The savanna stands poised, its wild inhabitants ready to meet the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Beneath the thunder of hooves and the silent stalk of predators, a hidden world pulses with life, one that forms the very backbone of the Serengeti's ecosystem. Here, in the shadows of giants, the smallest creatures shape the destiny of the land. The savanna's soil teems with activity. Insects often overlooked are the unseen architects, engineers, and caretakers. Their daily routines, weaving a complex web of interactions that sustain the grasslands above. Take termites, for instance, nature's master builders and relentless workers. Each termite is part of a vast collective, their cooperation honed by millennia of evolution. Their mounds, rising from the earth like ancient fortresses, are marvels of natural engineering. These structures, built grain by grain, can tower meters above the ground, providing shelter not only for termites, but also for countless other species seeking refuge from the harsh sun. Inside, a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers maintains a delicate balance of temperature and humidity. The mound breathes, drawing in cool air and expelling heat, creating a sanctuary for millions of individuals, each one vital to the colony's survival. But termites are more than just builders. They are the savanna's recyclers, breaking down tough fibrous grasses and dead wood that would otherwise choke the land. Their digestive prowess transforms decay into nourishment, returning essential nutrients to the soil. This constant renewal fuels the next wave of green, supporting the vast herds that migrate across the plains and ensuring the cycle of life continues season after season. Dung beetles, too, are unsung champions. With astonishing strength, they transform waste into opportunity, rolling balls of dung many times their own weight across the savanna. Each ball is carefully buried, not only cleaning the plains, but also fertilizing the earth below. This simple act enriches the soil, allowing new plants to take root and thrive. Within these buried treasures, dung beetle larvae develop, nourished by the very resource their parents provided. As the dung breaks down, it releases nutrients, giving rise to fresh shoots and supporting the next generation of life. Ants, meanwhile, form bustling underground metropolises. Their colonies, intricately woven into the roots of acacia trees, are models of cooperation and efficiency. These tiny defenders swarm at the slightest disturbance, protecting their leafy homes from hungry herbivores. Their vigilance ensures the survival of both colony and tree. In return, the acacia provides nectar and shelter, forging a partnership that is both delicate and fiercely effective. A living alliance shaped by the pressures of the Savannah. Elsewhere, beetles, spiders, and butterflies perform vital roles. As they move from flower to flower, they pollinate the savanna's blooms, ensuring the next generation of plants. Their movements also aerate the soil, and their predatory instincts keep pest populations in check. Frogs and lizards, ever watchful, patrol the undergrowth. With swift, precise movements, they capture insects, maintaining a delicate balance between predator and prey. Their presence is subtle, often hidden beneath the grass, yet their influence ripples through the ecosystem, shaping the fortunes of countless other species. As the camera glides low across the savanna, the intricate choreography of these miniature marvels comes into focus. Each movement purposeful, each interaction vital. A butterfly, its wings shimmering in the sunlight, alights on a wildflower, transferring pollen with every delicate touch. A line of ants weaves through the tangled roots, each carrying a fragment of leaf or a morsel of food, their collective effort sustaining the colony below. At sunset, a dung beetle pushes its prize across the glowing earth, silhouetted against the fading light, a testament to persistence and purpose. Each small action sends ripples through the ecosystem, sustaining the grandeur and diversity of the Serengeti. In this vast tapestry, every thread, no matter how fine, plays a crucial role. The interconnectedness of life here is both intricate and profound. While the giants of the savannah capture our imagination, it is these hidden heroes, the insects, the beetles, the tiny reptiles, who quietly uphold the resilience of this land, their efforts forming the foundation of all that thrives above. Their unseen labor is the silent force that sustains the savannah, a reminder that true greatness is measured not by size, but by the depth of one's impact on the world. As the first rays of dawn spill across the endless plains, the African savannah awakens to a symphony of new beginnings. Here, every sunrise marks the start of another day in the relentless cycle of life, where the young must quickly adapt or be swept aside by the unforgiving rhythm of nature. For the newborns, whether antelope, zebra, or giraffe, the world is both wondrous and perilous. Their first breaths are drawn under the vigilant gaze of mothers who stand as both guardians and teachers, ever alert to the subtle movements in the grass that signal lurking threats. A giraffe calf, legs splayed and trembling, struggles to rise for the very first time. Its mother circles protectively, her towering form casting a long shadow over her vulnerable offspring. Each attempt to stand is a battle against gravity and inexperience, but the urgency is absolute. Predators are drawn to weakness, and hesitation can be fatal. The Serengeti stretches out in every direction, a vast expanse where opportunity and danger are woven together. This immense landscape is both cradle and crucible, shaping the destinies of all who call it home. The giraffe calf's first steps are watched not only by its mother, but by the keen eyes of hyenas and lions concealed in the tall grass. The savannah offers no second chances. The slow and the uncertain are quickly singled out, their fates sealed by the laws of natural selection. With each shaky stride, the calf's muscles strengthen, coordination improves, and the instinct to flee sharpens. Across the plains, other young animals mirror this struggle, calves and foals learning to balance, to run, and to heed the silent warnings of their elders. Beneath the dappled shade of an acacia, lion cubs tumble and wrestle in a flurry of paws and tails. Their playful antics are more than mere games. Each mock battle hones reflexes, builds strength, and forges the bonds that will one day hold the pride together. Every leap, every pounce is a lesson in patience and precision. The cubs learn to gauge distance, to anticipate movement, and to channel their youthful energy into the skills that will define their survival as hunters. Under the watchful eyes of their mothers, the cubs practice the art of stalking, moving silently through the grass, freezing at the slightest sound, and learning the subtle cues that signal when to strike and when to wait. Mistakes are inevitable. A misjudged leap, a stumble in the dust, or a failed ambush brings a moment of frustration, but also a vital lesson. Each bruise and scrape is a mark of progress, a step closer to mastery. In another corner of the savannah, a young elephant discovers the wonders of its trunk. With awkward enthusiasm, it explores its world, grasping at leaves, splashing water, and trumpeting with delight at each new sensation. The trunk, a marvel of evolution, is both tool and lifeline. Mastery comes only through endless trial and error. Each attempt to pluck a branch or drink from a stream is a lesson in dexterity and patience. Gradually, the calf learns to feed itself, to drink without struggle, and to greet its family with gentle touches. These small victories are the foundation of independence, essential for survival in a world where self-reliance is key. The herd surrounds its youngest members, offering guidance through low rumbles and gentle nudges. Wisdom is passed down not through words, but through shared experience and constant support. For zebra foals, the challenge is one of concealment and recognition. Born into a world of stripes and shadows, their first task is to blend seamlessly into the herd, avoiding the gaze of predators. Each foal's stripes are as unique as a fingerprint, a natural camouflage that confuses would-be attackers. By memorizing the patterns of their mothers, they ensure they never stray far from safety. When danger approaches, the herd erupts into motion. The foals must keep pace, weaving through a blur of legs and stripes, guided by instinct and the reassuring presence of their mothers. Observation is their greatest teacher. By watching the adults, the young learn when to graze, when to flee, and how to navigate the ever-changing landscape of the savannah. Even among the smallest inhabitants, the journey to adulthood is fraught with challenges. A baby mongoose, eyes wide with curiosity, emerges from the safety of its den to face a world brimming with both opportunity and threat. Each step beyond the den is an act of courage. The young mongoose must learn to navigate unfamiliar terrain, to recognize the scent of danger, and to respond instantly to the alarm calls of its family. Vigilance is essential. The pup listens intently, attuned to the subtle sounds that signal the approach of predators or the presence of food. Every sense is sharpened by necessity. A sudden rustle sends the mongoose darting for cover. In these moments, hesitation can be deadly, and the lessons learned are etched into memory by the consequences of each choice. As the sun dips below the horizon, the savannah transforms. Shadows lengthen, and the air fills with the calls of young animals testing their newfound skills in the fading light. From the tallest giraffe calf to the tiniest mongoose pup, each young creature faces a unique set of trials. Every day brings new challenges, learning to run, to hide, to hunt, and to survive in a world that offers no guarantees. Their journey is a testament to the resilience and adaptability of life on the savannah. Each step forward is hard-won, each success a triumph over adversity, and each failure a lesson that shapes the survivors of tomorrow. In this vast and ever-changing wilderness, childhood is brief but transformative. The trials faced by the young forge the instincts, strength, and wisdom that will carry them into adulthood. Through perseverance, learning, and the unbreakable bonds of family, the young inherit the legacy of the wild, ensuring that the heartbeat of the Savannah continues, generation after generation. As dusk settles over the golden expanse, the Serengeti becomes a tapestry of connections, each thread spun between species whose lives are inextricably linked. Here, survival is not a solitary pursuit, but a delicate balance of competition, cooperation, and silent understanding. On the open plains, a herd of wildebeest grazes alongside zebras. Though they differ in size and stripe, their coexistence is no accident. Wildebeest, with their keen senses, detect distant threats, while zebras, ever wary, spot the subtle movement of stalking predators. Together, they form a living shield, amplifying vigilance and confusing hunters with their swirling masses. When danger approaches, their synchronized stampede churns the earth, a thunderous display that leaves predators hesitating at the edge of chaos. Nearby, oxpeckers flit from the backs of grazing buffalo, their crimson beaks plucking ticks and parasites from thick hides. This partnership is ancient. Buffalo gain relief from pests, while the birds feast and warn of lurking danger with sudden frantic calls. The trust between them is born from necessity, a silent pact written in the language of survival. At the fringe of a muddy waterhole, crocodiles bask in the fading light, their eyes half-lidded but always alert. As dusk deepens, a troop of baboons approaches, wary yet determined. The baboons do not come for water alone. They scan the banks for unwary fish disturbed by the crocodile's movement. In this uneasy truce, both predator and primate benefit. The crocodile's presence drives fish toward the shallows, while the baboon's vigilance alerts the herd to danger lurking beneath the surface. In the shadow of an ancient baobab, a colony of termites works tirelessly, their mounds rising from the earth like miniature fortresses. These humble architects shape the land itself, their tunnels aerating the soil and nourishing the roots of trees that shade antelope and shelter birds. Aardvarks, emerging at twilight, feast on the termites, their burrowing leaving behind shelters that will one day harbor warthogs and porcupines. Each species, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, leaves its mark, altering the landscape in subtle, profound ways. Above the grasslands, a flock of cattle egrets follows in the wake of elephant herds. With every ponderous step, the elephants disturb insects hidden in the grass, and the egrets swoop down to catch them in mid-air. The elephants, in turn, benefit from the birds' constant presence, each egret a sentinel, quick to sound the alarm at the approach of lions or hyenas. Predators and prey, rivals and partners, their destinies are woven together by countless exchanges, both fleeting and enduring. In the savannah, no creature exists alone. Every action, every hunt, every warning call, every shared resource reverberates through the web of life, shaping the fate of all. As night descends, the intricate dance continues, each participant playing its part in the grand design of the wild. The Serengeti endures not because of strength alone, but because of the bonds, seen and unseen, that unite its inhabitants in the eternal struggle to survive. As the dry season deepens, the Serengeti transforms. The once lush grasslands fade to brittle gold, and the riverbanks recede, exposing cracked mud like veins across the earth. In this crucible of drought, every life is tested, each day a contest of resilience. The great herds move in slow procession, hooves kicking up dust that hangs in the air like a shroud. Wildebeest and zebra stretch thin across the plains, their ribs visible beneath patchy hides. Waterholes shrink to muddy basins, crowding antelope, giraffes, and buffalo shoulder to shoulder in uneasy truce. Here every sip is precious, and the tension is palpable. Predators lurk nearby, drawn by the promise of desperate prey. Elephants, matriarchs at the lead, dig into dry riverbeds with their tusks, unearthing hidden pockets of moisture for their calves. Their ingenuity offers brief relief, not just for their own kind, but for warthogs, birds, and even furtive leopards who follow in their wake. In the treetops, vervet monkeys peer down, watching for any sign of water, their calls sharper and more urgent as thirst grows. As the grass withers, grazers are forced to roam further, their migration routes stretching beyond familiar territory. This relentless search for food and water brings new dangers, crossing open ground where lions and cheetahs lie in wait and venturing into territories claimed by rival herds. The struggle for survival is not just against the elements, but against each other. Beneath the surface, the hidden world of termites endures. Their mounds retain pockets of humidity, sustaining micro-ecosystems that offer refuge to insects, reptiles, and small mammals. Aardvarks and pangolins, normally solitary, converge on these bastions, their presence a testament to the unseen battles waged below. In the absence of rain, scavengers thrive. Vultures circle overhead, their shadows sweeping across the parched ground. Hyenas and jackals, ever opportunistic, scavenge what remains from the weakened and the fallen. Nothing is wasted. The cycle of life and death accelerates, stripping the savanna to its barest essentials. Yet, even in hardship, the savanna adapts. Acacia trees drop their leaves to conserve water, their thorny branches becoming havens for weaver birds and resting impalas. Seeds lie dormant beneath the dust, waiting for the promise of rain. In the silence of the night, the distant rumble of thunder stirs hope, a signal that the cycle will soon turn again. Through drought, the Serengeti is refined. The weak yield to the strong, the adaptable survive, and every creature is shaped by nature's relentless trial. When the first rains finally fall, the transformation is profound, a testament to the endurance and unity of life forged in the crucible of drought. As the sun dips below the horizon, the Serengeti awakens to a world cloaked in shadows. Nightfall brings a dramatic shift. Where the heat of day once reigned, cool darkness now prevails. This is the domain of nocturnal hunters and wary prey, each equipped with unique adaptations for the hours ahead. Under a sky shimmering with stars, lions exchange their languid daytime repose for silent purpose. Their eyes, finely attuned to low light, pierce the gloom. Moving with practiced stealth, prides communicate in near silence, fanning out to encircle unsuspecting herds. The cover of darkness grants them a critical edge. Blending their tawny coats with the dusky grass, they become phantoms in the night. Nearby, spotted hyenas emerge from their dens. Their keen sense of hearing picks up the faintest rustle. Their laughter-like calls echo across the plains, rallying clan members to potential feasts. Unlike lions, hyenas rely on endurance, often trailing hunts or scouring the darkness for overlooked remains. Their jaws, among the strongest in the animal kingdom, make short work of bone and sinew, ensuring nothing goes to waste. Leopards, solitary and elusive, slink along tree branches and rocky outcrops. Their rosette-marked coats break up their outline, allowing them to vanish in the interplay of moonlight and shadow. With powerful limbs and silent paws, they descend to stalk small antelope and hares, relying on surprise and swift, decisive strikes. Yet the night is not solely for hunters. Prey species too have evolved intricate defenses. Impalas and gazelles form tight clusters, their large ears swiveling for the slightest sound. Some, like the spring hare, emerge only after dark, using powerful hind legs to leap away from threats in zigzag patterns. Nocturnal birds, nightjars and owls, sweep low over the grass, their wings nearly silent as they hunt insects and rodents, their eyes reflecting an eerie glow in the moonlight. Warthogs retreat into burrows, sealing entrances with their sturdy rumps, while porcupines bristle and shuffle along well-worn paths, their quills a formidable deterrent to would-be predators. Even the smallest creatures adapt. The dung beetle navigates by starlight, rolling its prize with unerring precision across the darkened terrain. In these hours, The savannah's pulse is measured in whispered movements and fleeting glimpses. Every sense is heightened, every decision a matter of life and death. As dawn approaches, the balance shifts once more. Some return to shelter, bellies full or hearts pounding with escape, while others, victorious or vanquished, mark another night in the timeless contest that is survival on the Serengeti. The night recedes, but its stories linger, etched into the memory of every creature that braved the darkness. Beneath the towering acacias and sweeping grasses of the Serengeti, a hidden world thrives, one rarely glimpsed, yet vital to the pulse of the savannah. Here, the smallest inhabitants wield influence far beyond their size, shaping the landscape and sustaining the giants above. As the first light of dawn seeps across the plain, armies of termites stir within their fortress mounds. These intricate clay towers, some taller than a lion's shoulder, are masterworks of architecture, regulating temperature, moisture, and airflow with astonishing precision. Inside, blind workers tend to fungal gardens, breaking down tough plant fibers into rich soil. Each crumb of earth, each blade of grass carried underground, becomes part of a cycle that nourishes the savannah's roots and, in turn, its grazers. Elsewhere, dung beetles emerge, drawn to the fresh scent of opportunity left behind by wildebeest and zebra herds. With tireless determination, they sculpt perfect spheres from droppings, rolling them across the terrain with uncanny navigation skills, some guided by the Milky Way itself. Each buried ball aerates the soil and returns nutrients, preventing the spread of disease and fueling new growth. In their wake, grasses sprout more lushly, feeding the next wave of herbivores. Ants, too, are ever present, some marching in disciplined columns, others tending to aphid herds in the shelter of thorny bushes. Their tunnels knit the earth together, and their relentless foraging clears away debris, making room for regeneration. Even the formidable driver ants, feared by many, play their part, scouring the land of pests and fallen creatures, ensuring nothing goes to waste. Amid the dew, butterflies and bees hover over wildflowers, their delicate wings shimmering. Each visit transfers pollen, weaving invisible threads between distant plants. The result, vibrant blooms and a cascade of seeds, guaranteeing the savannah's renewal through the harshest seasons. And when the sun climbs higher, orb-weaver spiders stretch their silken traps between blades of grass, capturing a myriad of insects that might otherwise tip the balance. Tiny mantises blend with leaves, waiting in stillness, while centipedes and beetles prowl the undergrowth, keeping populations in check. Together, these minuscule marvels orchestrate a symphony of decomposition, pollination, and renewal. Without them, the Serengeti's great herds would dwindle and its predators would follow. In this vast theatre of life, the smallest actors are indispensable, quietly engineering the future of the savannah, one grain, one seed, one fleeting life at a time. As the horizon blurs with the shimmer of midday heat, a new spectacle unfolds above the savannah, a tapestry of wings in motion. Each year, as seasons shift and rains beckon life from the dust, millions of birds embark on epic journeys, stitching continents together with invisible threads of instinct and endurance. In the cool dawn, the air vibrates with the calls of European storks, their long silhouettes gliding in precise formations. These travelers have crossed deserts, mountains, and seas, guided by the stars and the subtle pull of the Earth's magnetic field. Descending to the wetlands, they probe the mud for frogs and insects, replenishing strength before the next leg of their odyssey. Elsewhere, clouds of coleus, tiny russet-bodied songbirds, erupt from acacia thickets, their synchronized flight casting rippling shadows on the grass below. Their vast flocks, sometimes 1 million strong, move as a single living current, stripping seeds from the savannah and leaving behind a patchwork of renewal and regrowth. High above, raptors ride the thermals, scanning for movement across the golden plains. Steppe eagles and Amur falcons having traveled thousands of kilometers from distant Asia, pause here to hunt and rest. Their sharp eyes and swift dives keep populations of rodents and insects in balance, subtly shaping the fortunes of both predator and prey. At the edges of shrinking waterholes, sandpipers and plovers, delicate, long-legged wanderers, probe the mud with needle-like bills. Their arrival signals the turning of seasons, a living calendar for the creatures of the plains. Each feathered visitor brings new energy, dispersing seeds caught in their plumage and fertilizing the soil with their droppings. In the cool shade of umbrella thorn trees, the iridescent flashes of bee-eaters and rollers catch the eye. They swoop and twist in pursuit of flying insects, their aerial acrobatics both a hunt and a courtship display. Their vivid colors and melodious calls add vibrancy to the landscape, marking the pulse of migration with every flutter. Even after nightfall, the sky belongs to the migrants. Flocks of nightjars and swifts press onward beneath the constellations, their silent wings beating in time with the ancient rhythms of the earth. Through drought and deluge, famine and plenty, these avian voyagers shape the savannah's fate. Each arrival and departure redistributes life, connecting distant ecosystems and ensuring the renewal of the Serengeti's boundless tapestry. In their flight, the story of the savannah continues, ever-changing, ever-returning, forever written on the wind. Beneath the endless arc of the Serengeti sky, where the sun's fierce glare scorches the land, a quieter drama unfolds, one of silent endurance and ingenious adaptation. The flora of the savannah, often overshadowed by its animal giants, has evolved a remarkable arsenal to survive extremes of drought, flood, and fire. Acacia trees, their thorny silhouettes iconic against the horizon, stand as sentinels of resilience. Their leaves shrink and curl during the harshest dry spells, minimizing water loss under the relentless sun. Deep beneath the cracked earth, sprawling root systems stretch far and wide, tapping hidden reservoirs of moisture inaccessible to most. Some acacias form symbiotic alliances with ants, offering shelter in return for protection against leaf-eating herbivores, a living fortress bristling with both spines and allies. Nearby, the baobab, ancient and immense, stores life itself within its swollen trunk. Its bark is thick, fire-resistant, and smooth, deterring both flames and would-be climbers. During the dry season, the baobab's branches stand bare, conserving precious resources, while its interior holds thousands of liters of water, a secret reserve for times of desperate thirst. When rains finally return, the tree erupts in a flurry of delicate white flowers, offering nectar to bats and bush babies under the cover of darkness. The grasses, though easily overlooked, are masters of renewal. Species like red oat grass and buffalo grass grow rapidly when water is abundant, then retreat into dormancy as the earth dries. Their seeds, armored against heat and desiccation, lie hidden in the soil, awaiting the first touch of rain to spring forth in a sudden green wave. Some grasses, grazed to the ground by herds, respond with even more vigorous growth, a living carpet perpetually reborn through adversity. Scattered shrubs and wildflowers add splashes of color to the savanna palette. Many possess waxy coatings or hairy leaves, limiting evaporation and shielding them from the punishing wind. Others, such as the impala lily, bloom only in the leanest months, their showy petals luring pollinators when little else dares to flower. Fire, a frequent visitor, is not merely survived but embraced. The tough bark of many trees insulates vital tissues, while certain seeds require the heat of flames to awaken from dormancy. In the aftermath, nutrient-rich ash nourishes new life, and shoots emerge, vivid and green, from the blackened earth, a testament to the cycle of destruction and regeneration. In every root, leaf, and stem, the flora of the savannah tells a story of adaptation, of strategies crafted over millennia to withstand the world's oldest challenges. Their quiet persistence underpins the entire ecosystem, weaving a foundation for all life above and below the surface. Here, resilience is not just an act of survival, it is the very essence of life on the savannah. Across the vast expanse of the Serengeti, water is more than a necessity. It is the pulse that animates every life, shaping destinies in its restless journey. From the meandering Grumeti River to seasonal pools hidden in ancient depressions, these lifelines thread through the golden Savannah, drawing creatures from miles around in an unspoken communion. As dawn breaks, herds of wildebeest and zebra converge along muddy banks, their hooves churning the earth in anticipation. The air vibrates with the calls of thirsty impalas and the grunts of warthogs, each awaiting their turn at the shimmering edge. Waterholes become stages of vulnerability and opportunity. Predators lie in wait, knowing that thirst overrides caution and the drama of survival unfolds with every cautious step. But the influence of water extends far beyond the obvious. Elephants, the engineers of the Savannah, carve new channels with their tusks, deepening pools and unearthing hidden springs. Their movements create microhabitats, pools where frogs breed, dragonflies skim, and fish dart in the dappled light. Hippopotamuses churn the shallows, their massive bodies stirring nutrients from the riverbed, nourishing unseen webs of aquatic life. Crocodiles, ancient guardians of the waterways, bask on sunlit banks, their patience measured in hours. At night, their silent forms slip beneath the surface, becoming shadows in the moonlit current. For countless species, terrapins, storks, monitor lizards, these watery arteries are both refuge and hunting ground, a place where fortunes shift with every drought and deluge. The rhythm of migration is orchestrated by water's ebb and flow. As the dry season tightens its grip, herds embark on epic journeys across parched plains, noses testing the breeze for the scent of distant rain. Rainfall transforms the landscape, dry riverbeds surge with muddy torrents, and dormant pools awaken, teeming with new life. With water's return, grasses rebound, insects proliferate, and the savannah hums with renewed vitality. Even in scarcity, the interconnectedness persists. Acacias along watercourses bear richer foliage, attracting browsers who, in turn, disperse seeds along the banks. Birds follow the ribbon of green, nesting in reeds and feasting on emergent insects. Each drink, each ripple, echoes through the web of life, linking predator and prey, plant and animal, in a delicate, ever-shifting balance. Here, water is not merely a resource, it is the silent architect of survival, carving the contours of existence and binding the savannah's inhabitants in a perpetual dance. In its cycles of abundance and absence, the story of the Serengeti is written anew, every drop a promise of life, every drought a test of endurance. The waterways are lifeblood in motion, sustaining a world where every creature is both seeker and steward of this most precious gift. Beneath the golden skies of the Serengeti, a new generation of hunters stirs in the cool shadow of acacia trees. For the young, lion cubs, cheetah siblings, and hyena pups, the journey from playful innocence to skilled predator is fraught with challenges, each lesson etched by trial and error. In the early morning, lion cubs crouch low in the grass, amber eyes fixed on a herd of grazing gazelles. Their mother watches, muscles taut, as she signals the start of another lesson. With a hesitant pounce, the cubs lunge forward, only to scatter the herd in a flurry of hooves and dust. Failure is frequent, but each misstep sharpens their instincts, teaching them about wind, direction, cover, and the explosive power of prey. Nearby, a coalition of young cheetahs hones their craft in the open plains. Stalking a wary hare, they must balance patience with speed, learning that timing is everything. A premature sprint leaves them winded and empty-handed, but each chase hones their coordination and builds the muscle memory essential for future hunts. Spotted hyena pups, often overlooked, face their own gauntlet. Within the labyrinth of their den, they wrestle and tug at scraps, refining the powerful jaws and cunning tactics that will one day secure them a place at the carcass. As dusk falls, they shadow their elders, absorbing the subtle cues, an ear twitch, a low growl, that signal opportunity or danger. For all young predators, hunger is a constant tutor. The pangs of an empty belly drive perseverance and innovation. They must learn not only to hunt, but to navigate the ever-present risks, territorial rivals, shifting alliances, and the sharp vigilance of prey. A single miscalculation can mean injury or exclusion from the next meal. But the savannah is also a place of fleeting victories. A cub's first successful ambush, a cheetah's triumphant sprint, a hyena's strategic steal. Each milestone is met with exuberance, shared among siblings with playful nips and triumphant calls. These moments of triumph are hard-won, the product of countless failed attempts and relentless adaptation. As the sun dips below the horizon, the young predators retreat, battered but wiser, their bodies bearing the dust and scars of the day's lessons. With every sunrise, they edge closer to mastery, shaped by the unforgiving wisdom of the wild. In this crucible of learning, only the most adaptable endure, forging the next generation of hunters who will one day claim their place atop the food chain. Here, in the heart of the Serengeti, the making of a predator is a story written in patience, perseverance, and the unyielding will to survive. Across the endless plains of the Serengeti, the true architect of life is often unseen, yet its influence is undeniable. Weather in all its moods sculpts the savanna with both subtlety and drama. Overhead, the sky is a canvas in constant motion. Towering cumulus clouds gather, their shadows sweeping across the grasslands as the air thickens with anticipation. With a sudden crack, the first thunder of the wet season rolls across the horizon, and rain, life's most precious currency, begins its descent. Sheets of water transform the landscape in mere hours. Parched earth softens, awakening dormant seeds and coaxing a green flush from the golden grasses. Rivers swell and spill into oxbow pools, drawing herds from miles away. Elephants, wildebeest, and zebras converge at these ephemeral lifelines, their migrations choreographed by the promise of abundance. Aerial views reveal the geometry of life, winding watercourses, blossoming acacias, and the shifting patterns of animals that follow the rains. But the savanna's weather is a force of extremes. Between these periods of renewal, fierce sunlight returns, drying the land with relentless intensity. Heat shimmers above cracked mud pans, while dust devils spiral across the plains, sculpting miniature tornadoes that dance and dissolve in the midday glare. For the flora and fauna, survival hinges on adaptation. Some plants retreat underground, storing energy in swollen roots until the rains return. Animals seek shade, conserve moisture, and time their movements to the rhythm of the elements. Lightning storms carve through the twilight, igniting wildfires that roar across the grasslands. Yet even destruction carries renewal. Fire clears away old growth, releases nutrients, and paves the way for fresh shoots. In its wake, the savanna is reborn, an endless cycle of destruction and regeneration, governed by the weather's impartial hand. From the tender green of new grass to the parched silence of drought, the savanna is shaped not just by its creatures, but by the ever-changing moods of sky and wind. Here, weather is more than backdrop, it is the pulse, the sculptor, and the silent judge of survival. Beneath the open skies of the Serengeti, every life is part of a greater tapestry, a web woven not only of competition, but of quiet cooperation. Here, symbiotic relationships shape survival in ways as intricate as the patterns on a giraffe's coat. In the dappled morning light, a herd of wildebeest grazes alongside zebras. At first glance, they are merely neighbors, but their partnership is profound. Zebras with their coarse mouths tear through tough upper grasses, revealing tender shoots beneath, perfect for the more selective palates of wildebeest. Together they maximize the bounty of the savanna, reducing competition and increasing the odds of survival for both species. As they move in tandem, their combined vigilance weaves a safety net, alerting each other to the faintest sign of predators. Elsewhere, a yellow-billed oxpecker flutters down to perch atop a browsing buffalo. With each peck, the bird extracts ticks and biting flies from the buffalo's thick hide, a meal for the oxpecker, relief for its massive partner. Yet not all is as harmonious as it seems. Sometimes the oxpecker's sharp beak reopens old wounds, keeping them fresh for more feeding. Even in cooperation, the balance can tip toward conflict, a reminder of the delicate negotiations that define symbiosis. In the shade of a spreading acacia, ants swarm along thorny branches, fiercely defending their arboreal home. The tree provides sweet nectar in specialized glands, a feast for the ants. In return, the ants patrol the branches, driving away hungry herbivores and pruning encroaching vines that would otherwise smother their host. This alliance allows the acacia to flourish where others would fall. Beneath the soil, a secret partnership unfolds. Leguminous plants like the resilient African pea harbor nitrogen-fixing bacteria in their roots. These tiny allies convert atmospheric nitrogen into nutrients the plants can use, enriching the soil for all who grow nearby. In turn, the plants offer shelter and carbohydrates, a microscopic exchange with far-reaching effects. And on the fringes of waterholes, crocodiles bask in the sun, jaws agape. Plovers flit fearlessly between their teeth, plucking scraps of meat and cleaning away parasites, an uneasy trust between predator and cleaning crew, where both benefit from the arrangement. In the Serengeti, survival is not a solitary endeavor. Every alliance, no matter how fleeting or fraught, shifts the balance of life. From the smallest insect to the largest mammal, the savanna's heartbeat is a chorus of cooperation, each species a vital note in nature's enduring symphony.